This is Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls.
Welcome to Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. I'm Miel from Los Angeles. I'm 9 years old and I'm interviewing Jackie Cruz, who was the narrator of last week's episode of Goodnight Stories for Rebel Girls. If you haven't heard last week's episode, now is a good time to go back and check it out. Jackie, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Jackie Cruz, and I'm a part of this amazing show on Netflix, Orange is the New Black.
What was it like growing up in the Dominican Republic?
Beautiful. It was beautiful growing up in the Dominican Republic. I grew up on the beach, so what can be better than that? And all my family was there, and I got to experience a lot of beautiful things that you don't really experience here in America. And I got to see sad things as well that we don't experience here. You know, it is a third world country, but I was blessed, and I had a beautiful family, and we had each other. So I have to say it was amazing, and I don't regret living there, and I want to go back, and I visit every year.
Have you ever had to fight for your life?
Yes. Of course, every day. No, I have had to fight for my life at a young age, you know. I don't know if you know, but I was in a terrible car accident when I was 17, and I moved out when I was 16. So literally, I fought for my life. I was 72 hours in a coma, had brain surgery, and I wanted to give up. I didn't give up because I saw that I had potential and that eventually I was going to be able to walk. My hair was going to grow out. And I had this little girl in the hospital who was 10 years old, and she is paraplegic and she can never walk again. And she looked at me and she told me that I was pretty when I felt like I was nothing. And that to me changed everything. And it inspired me to believe in what's the most beautiful thing is what's inside. And it's never what you look like. And I learned that at a young age. And it was hard. But yes, I've had to fight for my life. And I'm happy I'm here to talk about it and tell my story.
Why did you launch your own production company?
I launched my own production company because I believe that a lot of representation is missing in Hollywood. And for me, even though I'm a part of this amazing show on Netflix, Orange is the New Black, I am getting a lot of great opportunities. But when it comes to my look, you know, being Latina is complicated because we're mixed. You know, we have European, we have Native American, we have African, and we all look different and different percentages. So it's hard to, you know, place us. So being in Hollywood and being of mixed culture, I feel like they're very stereotypical. So that's why I opened my own production company so I could use my platform to open doors for not just me, but for people like me.
Why did your family tell you about the Mirabal sisters?
I grew up in the Dominican Republic, Santiago, my hometown, and they were always a big part of my life. So I always asked, who are these women? And I was a young feminist, you know, already. I remember my grandfather asking for coffee, and I'm like, why don't you get it yourself, Grandpa? You know what I mean? Like, I hated macho men, you know, and I grew up in a place where women were the ones in charge. So to me, it was very opposite, you know, growing up in the DR. And Las Hermanas Mirabales, they remind me of my family, my tias. And I knew about them my whole life, and it's just something very close to me.
Thanks, Jackie. Rebels, tune in next week for a new episode on flamenco dancer Carmen Amaya, read by Dennis Diop. If you like the show, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and share it with all your friends. Stay Rebel.